cannot stand Brian Michael Bendis. I cannot stand Brian Michael Bendis. I cannot stand Brian Michael Bendis. I cannot stand him. But we're going to get to that in a moment. I'm going to talk about something that I kind of do like. And I'm kind of excited for this new comic because I like Jason Todd. I actually like Red Hood. And it's probably more because I enjoyed the Rebirth version of him with Scott Lobdell doing Red Hood and the Outlaws. Like, I think that he tackled it extremely, the complexity of Jason Todd, like, extremely well. And so it's kind of exciting, the idea that, we're going to get a version of him in the Batman animated series, And that's probably all that I like. But I am, because I'm actually kind of excited for it, I am probably going to pick up this miniseries when it comes out in, I know they're going to come out with it digital first, they said. Yeah, it'll be digitally first in April, and then the physical issue is going to come out in May. So I'm actually kind of excited for that because I like to see how they're going to do it. Then what I'm not so happy about, and this, I guess, got me kind of like on the whole rabbit hole thing, is like I read this article about Gambit and Excalibur. Now, Gambit is one of my favorite X-Men, if not my favorite. I mean, he is probably my favorite X-Men. And I have been avoiding reading a lot of the X-Men and a lot of the stuff, involving the X-Men and stuff in Marvel, just because I've not liked where it's been going. And, I don't like how they were tackling Gambit. And so it's just saddening to see this kind of review of how they're treating him in Excalibur. And, I'm glad that I read the article because I was thinking about possibly picking up the Excalibur run and seeing how that goes, but knowing that they're not going to be very good to a Gambit, like I think I'll just save myself some money on that. The article that set me off, just the smarminess of Brian Michael Bendis. It's like, talk about somebody who thinks that they're so clever and just his arrogance knows no bounds. Like, his arrogance just really knows no bounds. And that's why I cannot stand him. I cannot stand him. So I have been completely against the idea of Superman revealing his identity. And in reading the responses to why he did it, it's literally because, as Brian Michael Bendis puts it, it's because it's topical. And because it was a response to the world we currently live in. So essentially, let me be stupidly arrogant and do something that's completely stupid because topical, because relevance, because he can't just be good to a character. He can't just write Superman as Superman is. No, he must try to make his mark and try to make people remember his name forever. And he doesn't seem to care that he's going to go down as crap. Superman he's never been relevant. He has never been topical. He has always been timeless. Every time they have done this, because it goes back to when they had Superman give up his American citizenship to become a world citizen. It read that same stupid way. Stupid writers who don't understand Superman, who don't understand what makes Superman popular, who thinks that they're so freaking smarter than everybody else. They just do this stupid stuff because they just want to be remembered, because they themselves think that they are brilliant. And we're all supposed to stand up and applaud them and call them, like, I don't really get mad. I don't really get mad that often. Yes, I get passionate about Superman because I will keep saying this. He is my favorite superhero. And it has been so tragic for me these years of just watching Brian Michael Bendis just destroy him. And he is destroying him. I will never be convinced that Brian Michael Bendis is not destroying Superman. I will never be convinced that I will not be convinced that he doesn't hate Superman. I do believe that he absolutely hates Superman and that he is doing this on purpose because he gets some sick thrill in doing this. And certainly, like in reading like his response, his arrogance knows no bounds, and that bothers me. It bothers me that they brought him to DC, and it bothers me that they gave him so many books, and it bothers me that they just allow him to just keep destroying their characters. Like it bothers me because it keeps it. Because it just keeps me in this place where I just keep having to keep asking myself, when is this going to end? Like, when is this stupid stuff going to end? Like, when is this insanity going to end? Like, watching what happened with Sonic the Hedgehog movie, it gave me encouragement that there are companies and things like out there that actually do listen, that actually do care about what the customers want. They care about, giving you something that you're going to like. They care about giving you something that's going to make you feel like you're part of it, that's going to give you those kind of feels and stuff, that's going to be entertaining. And that's why I really enjoyed watching Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Like, this stuff, it just, like, I'm not going to go out and rage purchase. And so, like, it bothers me because they don't care. It really does bother me. Like, I'm not on Twitter, so I don't care about these people's personalities anymore. What I literally care about is the way that they write these characters, and just the way that they treat these characters, the way that they treat these stories. It makes me dislike them more and more and more because it's sickening. It is so sickening. And like, I don't care if they're not SJWs or if they are SJWs or if they're leftists or if they're whatever. Like, at this point, I don't care about their personal politics. I care about their ability to tell a good story. The fact that these people can no longer tell a good story because they're just so pissed because one man got into office that they didn't vote for. It's sickening at this point. And I'm so sick and tired of them taking our entertainment and using it against us and telling us that we're bad people because we don't like them destroying what they're doing. Like, that is, like, I've reached that point where it has become so frustrating because it is like a sickness at this point. And like, Brian Michael Bendis just needs to quit. Like, he just needs to stop, but he's not going to stop because they keep giving him more books. They just keep giving him more and more and more stuff. And then they have, media sites like CBR and all this other stuff who, of course, they're going to blow smoke in our faces, talking about how brilliant it is and treat it as if it's not actually the destruction of timeless characters. Like, Superman is timeless, and like, he needs to be timeless. In order for him to work, he needs to be timeless. Like, I wish, like, I've come to hate this word topical. I've come to hate it because DC characters are not topical characters. They're not topical. Marvel characters can be topical. They can be in the moment, not DC characters. If these people were really as smart as they keep trying to convince the world that they are, they would understand that. Like, they would understand that. And, you know, like, I know it's me being the storyteller that I am, that it just really does bother me, because at the end of the day, especially because the excuse, and knowing that the excuse is just because being topical, like, that is the stupidest thing ever, because Superman would never reveal his identity, because to reveal his identity would put his friends and family in danger. Superman would never do that. But the stupidity of let people, Brian Michael Bendis, and I, because I've never had to, had a time where I felt like I had to hide. Bull. You're doing the same thing that Tom King did. You're taking your own mental issues out on a character. And you're telling the rest of us that we must abide by the stupidity that you're doing and this absolute destruction of a character that is loved because you just don't want to pay for your own therapy. Like, you want to reveal your therapy to the rest of the world, and it's not good. It's not funny. It's just, I can't stand it. 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 Like, I just cannot. I just cannot. I'm so upset right now. I'm so upset after reading this because, I try to give the benefit of the doubt, and I will admit I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt. I was, at this moment, I can't stand Brian Michael Bendis' run on Superman, but I kept thinking, well, I love Superman. Like, it's bittersweet reading the past stuff because it's sort of like, man, this is what I feel like I've lost Superman. I feel like I've lost him in the hands of Brian Michael Bendis. Like that's literally how I feel. And so it's sort of like when you feel like you don't have anything left, there's like that temptation to kind of go in and just say, well, I just need to feel a new Superman. And then to just read his reasoning. To read his reasoning, to have him actually say why he did it, and to realize that it's all about his arrogance and his need to feel like he's more clever than anybody else. Oh, that upsets me so much because he is the reason I can't enjoy Superman. He is literally the reason. Like, he himself, and because DC keeps giving him so many books, he is the reason I cannot buy DC Comics. Like, he is the reason, because I'm trying to avoid him because I can't stand him because he doesn't know these characters. Like, I don't care how he used to write in the past. I don't care if people enjoyed his work in the past. I can only deal with today. And today's Brian Michael Bendis is a crappy comic book writer. He's a crappy person, and I cannot stand him working at DC, destroying my characters. And I'm sure he sits at home cackling to himself about how much people can't stand that he is destroying Superman because he hates Superman in the first place. Like, I'll quit. Because I myself have so much work that I'm trying to do because, I'm trying to get my own series and things off the ground. So I'm seeing how much work goes into it. Not that I didn't understand previously, but, in order, just having something from scratch takes a lot of work. And so when I put a lot of work and I put a lot of heart and I put a lot of passion into things that I'm doing, and then I don't see others doing the same thing, it really kind of bothers me. It really kind of bothers me because it's like I can understand why some people talk about things like privilege. I don't believe it, but I do believe that, there are cases, and this is certainly a case of, Brian Michael Bendis knowing the right people and getting what he wanted. And, because he now lives in this bubble and because they gave him all that he wanted, he now can do whatever he wants to do unchecked, and they're not going to get rid of him. I think they would have to scrape absolute bottom of losing anything before they would even consider getting rid of Brian Michael Bendis. And that makes me really sad because it's even with the Aquaman run. I can't even enjoy Aquaman because I don't like Kelly Sue DeConnick and I don't like what she's doing. And I don't like this idea. I don't like this idea of them putting their own personal politics into these characters because and maybe I'll do a video on that because there is a difference between using politics and putting agenda. And this is beyond, we have so far gone into agenda that it's not even funny. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to try to calm down and, I'm going to maybe do something that will make me happy. And I won't forget this because this is the kind of stuff that I cannot forget because it's because it bothers me. But if you like this, click the like button, click the subscribe button, do the bell stuff for notifications, share, do all of that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.